Yo, what is going on, guys? We got a new Twab today, this week in Destiny 6-19 2025. Save the day, all dungeons of Red of the Nine, introducing a additive melee damage, exotic armor tuning preview. Last call for the final shape Bungie rewards. Alright, I should look at the Bungie rewards for that. Alright, guys, so I believe this is starting out with like a new emblem or something. Tune in for our next developer stream. Join us on Tuesday, June 24th at 10 a.m. PT as we give an in-depth look at the Edge of Fate. We'll have the dev team on the floor ready to share many details about the Armor 3.0 and a new ability stat system and show you some new weapons and more. Everyone watching our developer stream on Bungie and Twitch channel for at least 15 minutes with their Bungie ID linked will earn the Astromancy emblem as a Twitch drop. So yeah, there's the new emblem, guys. Looks pretty cool. Kind of looks like one we've seen before, but different colors and more fancy. Pretty cool. Rite of the Nine continues. Guardians of the Emissary of the Nine still require your attention after making all the dungeons available last week. Turning on increased rewards for them, we are entering a new Rite of the Nine cycle. All dungeons remain active and can be played at players' leisure, but only one of them has increased rewards active, so you can go back and farm resources and weapons if you're still chasing one of them. We have another update coming on July. Emissary will start giving away non-nary engrams that are filled with brim with hand-picked cosmetics and stuff, guys. Sorry about that. My nose is really stuffed, guys. I have some type of cold or something. Check your calendar below so you don't miss anything coming. So yeah, guys, there's the stuff. There's a calendar of all the stuff that's dropping. Lollapalooza. Melee damage is changing in the Edge of Fate. Hello there. The Destiny 2 Sandbox team, we're ready to talk about the most significant systematic overhauls coming with the Edge of Fate. Additive melee damage stacking. For a short version is almost all sources of increased melee damage are buffed. All sources of increased melee damage stack at full efficiency in PvE, and we are using additive damage increased calculation for melee damage. How melee damage worked in the past. Currently in Destiny 2, most sources of increased damages in Destiny 2 are multiplicative to hypothetical 50% damage increase, a 1.5 times increase to damage, and multiplied together for a 125%, 2.25 damage increase. This approach damage increase has some problems. So you guys can see they don't want you guys doing that, guys. For one, more damage increasing effects applied at a time, the more powerful they become, which means that the best builds and strategies can start to revolve around simply having as many buffs as possible. Additionally, balancing the game becomes more difficult, and more sources or increased damage we had to add. How melee damage will work now. When the Edge of Fate is released on July 15th, melee damage increased in Destiny will be additive. This means two hypothetical 50% damage increases will be added together for a total of 100% damage increase. Now, this is a result in a lower damage ceiling for melee abilities, and it's unlikely that most bosses will ever be one shot with melee abilities going forward. But because you do not need to worry about someone stacking these melee buffs and trivializing most content in the game, we can do very cool things. We are buffing almost all effects, increase melee damage, some of them double. PvE melee damage increasing effects always stack at the full value applicable. So yeah, guys, they're cooking up some stuff for the Edge of Fate for you guys. New changes to melee system and PvE for stacking damage. Systematic updates. In the new system, every effect that increases melee damage has converted to additive damage stacking. Every item has been changed to parts listed below, single exception, blah blah. Guys, you guys can read all this. This is that really PvE stuff that you guys wanna. You guys can screenshot it if you need to. The logic behind the change is similar to the logic underlying Jolt damage scaling changes made a while back. Oh, they're doing the Jolt thing. About Glaives. As part of the Melee overhaul, we're revisiting Glaives in the sandbox. We would like Glaives to find a more permanent home in the melee-focused builds. If you guys care about Glaives, pause it. Because I don't. I mean, I've used them. They might be good in PvE. I've used them before. They're okay. Not my type of weapon, though. But that's for you guys right there. All you glaive people, pause it if you need to. That's getting really changed. Yeah. Abilities changes for melees. PvE melee damage bonus increase from 10 to 50%. Arc Spark of Feedback PvE damage bonus increase from 75 to 100. Now works with glaive melee at full effect. PvE melee damage bonus is no longer decreased when the Synthosep, Liar Handshake, Knockout, Worm God, Karis, 1-2 Punch, or Winter's Guile. Roaring Flames maximum PvE damage from 73 to 200. As a note, Roaring Flames increase solar damage, blah, blah, blah. So now Roaring Flames does not scale glaive melee damage. Melee damage bonus is no longer decreased. You guys can see all this stuff, guys. I'm not going to go through everything because I don't want to spend too much of your time because time is very precious. So yeah, pause it if you need to. Hunter Stylist Executioner PvE melee damage bonus from 200 to 300. Glaive now works with glaive in full effect. Now works with every melee ability. In other words, projectile melees, thread spike benefit from the damage increase. Combination blow. Maximum PvE damage from 309 to 400. Increased melee damage. Now works with glaive melee. Now works with Ascension PvE at full effect. Now works with grapple melee at PvE full effect. So we got exotic armor changes. This is the big one, guys. Athery's Embrace PvE weighted throwing knife. Damage bonus increase from 200 to 300%. Liar's Handshake, Spirit of the Liar. So this is Hunter, guys. PvE basic melee and arc damage increase from 200 to 400%. Ophidian Spath. Maximum PvE throwing knife damage bonus increase from 100 to 200%. Triton Vice. PvE glaive damage from bonus. Is this all just for PvE? So yeah, guys, it looks like they're just kind of like buffing all this PvE melee stuff right here. As you guys can see, Heart of Inmost Light, Paragon Greaves. It's all getting buffed, guys. This not getting buffed though. Melee damage is no longer decreased when used with the combination blow. So there you guys go. Damage bonus is still. So that's what the Synthoceps, guys. Worm God Karis. Winter's Guile. PvE melee damage bonus 175 to 400. Nice. Weapon changes, guys. Weapon perks. PvE glaive melee damage. 1-2 punch PvE. Exotic. So is this just PvE stuff, guys? They're just buffing everything for PvE. Melee damage bonus. Melee PvE melee damage bonus increase from 100% to 150. This is with the 1-2 punch perk and the close to melee. They want your melees to be deadly now, kind of, but in a different way, not just stacking. Exotic weapons, Saint's Fist, PvE melee damage increased from 100 to 300%. Now works with all melee abilities. Monte Carlo, the melee attack longer deals reduced melee damage to bosses. No mini bosses and champions. Winter Bite. Sees melee damage, blah, blah. Okay, I think this is the real juicy one. Exotic armor tuning and preview. So let's see what they have to say. We care about the hunter, guys. So let's read about this. This is we have to give him respect about this. We mentioned a bunch of exotic armor pieces in previous sections, so it felt like changing with the Edge of Fate. Mini buffs and reworks here. There are a few minor nerfs keep things balanced and interesting. Oh my god, here we go. Don't tell me you're gonna nerf Blight Ranger. The Dragon Shadow and as It has long felt weird how similar Dragon Shadow and Speed Loader slacks are in their effects, with both centered on dodging to get stats. To elevate some weirdness, the Dragon Shadow has gained many of these stats, had its perk updated to the fit better to suit its player stats. Dragon Shadow now passively increases weapon stability and ready speed. Ooh. Dodging reloads equipped weapon. No longer reloads holstered weapon. Activating your dodge ability grants the following effects for a short time: increased stability and handling, increased move speed, increased sprint, slide, ADS, straight speed, increased class stat. Dang, these things are going to be nasty. The Dragon Shadow. We're going to have to make a video on that. Okay, we got the Speed Loader slacks. With the bonuses given away, we took more PvE-oriented approach to the Speed Loader slacks, allowing hunters to be able to provide a benefit akin to the Lunification boots, and allies to be able to carry around during the higher content. Tight fit perk: dodging reloads all weapons and grants increased handling reload speed for you and nearby allies. Dang, that's pretty good. And that could be good for PvP too, guys. But that could be insane for like doing DPS damage and stuff for a raid. While this buff is active, additional dodges increase the strength of the buff and refresh timer. Oh, that's insane. That's really for PvE right there, though. Dealing sustained damage grants class ability energy. Oh, I see. That's for sure. No, that's could be for PvP too. That's nice. That's nice, Bungie. Mask of Bacchus. Mask of Bacchus has always been an evocative and visually fun exotic, but largely is used for PvP tool. We've made some changes to let you play into the Fallen Captain fantasy even more so with the PvE while pairing with the new stats. Also usable on arc subclasses and supers. Let's go! Bro, we're gonna have to make a new arc build with that, finally. Mask of Bacchus. Effects are now active when either an arc on stasis super is equipped. Nice, that's the new perk. Reworked Light Shift no longer provides a non-stacking surge damage bonus. Now grants 10 plus damage for eligible weapons, stasis weapons, arc weapons, Lord of Wolves per stack. Stacks up to 3 times. While active, when weapon final blows grant class ability energy. Not bad, not bad. Kepri Sting, not too OP, but now you can use it with the blade arc staff and stuff, the class I use, so we can do a build with that maybe. Kepri Sting has been fairly niche in PvP exotic for some time, so we wanted to rework it to make it a bit more broadly useful for build crafting hooks. Alright, Kepri Sting. Remove automatic smoke bomb activation when using a melee attack. Remove true sight when dealing damage with the smoke bomb. Killing weakened targets creates a burst weakened smoke and returns smoke bomb energy. I guess. That's okay. Oathkeepers have not quite worth time investment. Overdraw for the bonus damage. We've turned that into a bit of ease for use of higher potential payout for damage. Oathkeepers increase maximum damage bonus from 150 to 200%. Now provides more total damage bonus earlier than overdraw. I don't even know what those are. Okay, this is the exotic I use, guys. This is a big one. The Blight Ranger. The Blight Rangers had a rough time with previous balance changes failing to hit the mark. Despite that, we believe that it's the most recent rework established a playstyle that fits the fantasy of the exotic. However, its cancellation effect didn't feel worth investment, especially due to a challenging bug with how its damage scaled. Now we've given a bit of extra juice, actually a lot of extra juice. What did you guys do to my Blight Ranger, Bungie? Please do something. I know you guys be seeing my videos or something. Blight Ranger fixed an issue where cancellation damage was not consistently scaling based on voltaic mirror progress. I see. Adjusted voltaic mirror meter behavior now requires 25% less reflections to reach maximum. Wow, that's insane. Fills more evenly. Blocks melee attacks now count as reflection. What? That's insane. Maximum cancellation damage increased by 50%. Bro. Wait, maximum cancellation damage increase. Oh, so if you once you cancel your super, you do damage, extra damage. This is in addition to the fix above. Minimum cancellation damage increased by 150%. Now always applies blind before dealing damage. Updated visuals, audio, and timing of blinding. Shockwave to better reflect its impact. So yeah, I think Blight Ranger got the biggest update. They didn't nerf it, they just made it pretty much better to even more you're gonna get your super back with your investment better and stuff, and it's just updated. Hopefully they fixed it where sometimes the damage on the Blight Ranger, if they do a lot of damage to you, it'll like kill you automatically. It's like a bug or something. So Bungie, fix that please. Yeah, because sometimes I'll be blocking with the Blight Ranger with Arc Staff, and then I'll just die from a misadventure out of nowhere from someone just shooting an auto rifle at me. Like what? Crest of Alpha Lupe. Over the past year, we've seen a lot of love when it comes to the new additions of things we support, frames of autos of the Edge of Fate, blah blah blah. Starting with the Crest of Alpha Lupe, we want to keep it subclass agnostic to support the Titan Fantasy. Added additional effects. Sustained damage while behind a barricade triggers another smaller healing pulse. Healing your allies grants barricade energy. Phoenix Cradle. Update the VFX on sunspots while the user has Phoenix Cradles to look more clearly supportive to allies. Added additional effects. Dealing sustained solar weapon damage in sunspot extends its duration. Providing solar buffs to allies has a chance to create a sunspot at your feet. MK44 stand asides, guys. Sprinting with Juggernaut active periodically grants you a stack of static charge. Sprinting with Amplified creates an area behind you that grants allies speed booster. The exotic lost its role with the induction of Juggernaut. Other changes that made the melee refund less valuable. We removed the melee energy refund on the shoulder charge hit over the shield while sprinting. These perks were replaced with arc-centric perks that turn you and your allies into unstoppable force. Path of the Burning Steps. Increase solar weapon damage and solar ignition damage based on the number of stacks Roaring Flame you have. Roaring Flame times 1, 2, and 3 grants plus 10, 15, 20% bonus solar weapon damage. Plus 5, 10, and 15% ignition damage. Stacks with surge mods. Reduces duration of suspend flow, slow, and freeze effects applied to you. That's not bad. Ibient Leap. It's like a negation effect almost, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Now increases duration suspend applied by enhanced Dragoneer's Lashes. Actium War Rig. Auto Rifle and Machine Gun Final Blows increase their stability, ammo generation, and damage. Stacks up to 10 times higher counts expire more quickly. Spirit of Alpha Lupe. Stoicism. Spirit of Alpha Lupe. Healing your allies grants class ability energy. Oh yeah, so that's the prismatic exotic class thing. Okay, we got the Starfire Protocol now also activates on radiant damage. Increased diffusion grenade energy gained from dealing damage from 2.5 to 5%. Reduced fusion grenade energy gained from final blows from 20% to 15%. Empowering damage, as it's been written on Starfire Protocols, felt pretty confusing. Within the new world of stats, we figured it was high time to clear up the confusion and give this exotic a well-deserved boost. Wings of Sacred Dawn. Combatants are less accurate towards you while Tome of Dawn is active. This is similar to Manticore's effect. While a Solar Super's equipped, solar damage final blows now grant restoration and reload stowed weapons. With the release of the items such as Manticore SMG, we've seen some gripes with some of the new exotics that ask some players to survive airborne, so we help the Wings of Sacred Dawn taking a look at just that. Fellwinter's Helm. Powered melee damage weakens targets, applies 15% weaken. Weaken effects applied by the burst via melee or finisher final blows are unchanged. Prometheum Spurs. Rework the perk Embers of Light, while Solar Super is equipped. Weapon defeats grant class ability energy. Weapon defeats Griff and different solar verb depending on the rift. While healing in a rift, weapon defeats create a pulse that grants radiance to nearby allies and you. While in a empowering rift, defeat instead grant cure for allies and you. Yeah. Boost of the Assembler. Noble Seekers no longer spawn waves. You guys can check this out if you're a Warlock. This is a lot to take in, guys, to be honest. Pause it if you need to. Warlocks are becoming OP. I don't even know what's going on. Geomag Stabilizers. Reduce super energy granted by iconic tracers from 4 to 7%. Return sprinting from the top of bolt charge. Decrease the bolt charge stacks required. Blah, blah, blah. Decrease the amount required from sprinting. Increase the rate of bolt charges granted while this effect is active from 1.5 seconds one every 30.33 seconds. The final bungee shape rewards, guys. Go get your rewards if you need to. All your stuff before it is gone. There's some known issues going on. Hopefully they fix some stuff with the Blight Ranger. So yeah. Triple kill. Who is this? New Land Beyond. Alright, with that, the twit is over. Hope you found all the changes coming to the melee builds, exotic armor pieces interesting. We are pretty sure some of these are already starting to theorize about new builds, combos that will see most fun to play in the Edge of Fate launches. Let us know what you got most excited for. Peace from the Destiny 2 community. Late. Alright, guys. I'm most excited for the Blight Ranger changes, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.